Is this one habit keeping you from living the kind of life you know you were meant to live? Perhaps it's keeping you stuck in a country that no longer suits you. Well, stay tuned because I'm going to share with you one habit that I needed to change in order for me to be able to move to France and live the kind of life I'm living here today. Thank you for joining me. If you're new here, welcome. Each week, I upload a new video about life in France, moving abroad, or finding the confidence and courage to live life on your terms. So if that sounds interesting to you, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so that you'll be notified each time a new video drops. I'm Patricia Brooks, and in 2018, I left my project management job in Richmond, Virginia, and I moved to the south of France. It was something I felt I had to do, but it was something that I would not have been able to do had I not broken this one habit. And before I dive into what that habit is, I want to give you a little bit of a backstory so you'll understand where that comes from. When I was in kindergarten, my kindergarten teacher read our class a book, and that book was called Little Black Sambo. Now, she read it to us. My class was all white except for me. And she read it to us, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I went home and I told my mom, "Oh, mommy, guess what the teacher read to us today?" And I told her. And she said to me, "What did she read to you?" And that startled me because I was not expecting that response. I had enjoyed the book. I even wanted a copy of my very own. And so I whispered to her, I said, "Little Black Sambo." And she was not pleased. So the following day, she marched over to my school and had a conference with the principal and the teacher. Later that day at dinner, she and my father discussed what had happened. Now, she was a school teacher, a Black woman raised in the United States in the 40s and 50s. So she was not happy with this at all. But I, as a 5-year-old girl, didn't know what the book was all about. And Little Black Sambo, if you're not familiar with it, has a history of having racist overtones. And my parents thought it was inappropriate to be read to me in school. And that incident marked me because my mom's reaction was a reaction I never wanted to see from my mom again. As a 5-year-old, I just wanted my mom to love me. I didn't want her to think that I had done something wrong and, jeopardize the love that she had for me and how wonderfully she was caring for me. And so in that moment, or in the days that followed, I decided that I was not going to have an opinion and I was going to conform. I was going to look to other people to see how I should respond and what I should like and what I should do. And that conforming carried over for me into my 40s, right? From 5 years old into my 40s. In high school, it caused me not to get the grades that I was capable of because I didn't put in the work. I played it small because I didn't want to be, "Oh yeah, you smarty pants," right? I wanted to blend in and I wanted to be accepted. And even back in kindergarten, it impacted me because I wanted my teacher to like me. I wanted my mom to like me on one hand. I wanted my teacher to like me on the other hand. And I wanted the kids in the class to like me too, to continue to like me, because before the Little Black Sambo incident, I didn't even know I was different from the other children. It was only in that incident that raised the flag for me that, oh, I've got darker skin and my classmates don't. Little Black Sambo has darker skin. Oh, that caused an uproar. Oh, I'm different, right? Then later in my 20s and 30s and 40s, it carried on. And so, somebody said, "You want to go to the movies?" "Yeah, let's go to the movies." "Well, what movie do you want to see?" "I don't care. What movie do you want to see?" "Whatever you want to see is fine with me." And so I stopped expressing my opinions. And, that's a small thing, but little by little, you start to lose yourself. You start to not know what it is you like, and you start to just cower and play small. You're in the shadows of everybody else. You're not including yourself in your own life. A very unfortunate place to be. However, it's possible to break free. And it's possible to do that and figure out what it is you want to experience in life and go and live that kind of life. And that's what I did when I moved to France. So how was I able to do this? Well, it was a series of 4 things that I did. The first thing was I broke free from the shadows of my parents, right? And that was made a little bit easier when my mother died in 2013. My father had died in 2010. And so I was left without a living parent. And that first year was really hard. It wasn't like an overnight thing that I all of a sudden said, oh, I'm free to, express my own opinions. It was only at the 1-year anniversary of my mom's death, which I thought would be a sad time, but it was really kind of a celebratory time for me because for me, it marked 1 year of my being able to live life without the support and encouragement of a living parent. And that was something I doubted my ability to do on a deep level. And so it was like, I did it. So what else could I do? And so that helped to open me up. So getting out of the shadows of people who influence you or make you feel like maybe what you want to do is not the right thing to do. Maybe it's something that's just not popular, right? Like moving abroad. Not everybody wants to do that and not everybody understands. So that's the first thing, getting out of the shadows of people who are influencing you. And maybe you may even be unaware of it, but becoming aware of that so that you can then distance yourself or start to recognize that. The second thing I did was I started to do things that pushed me out of my comfort zone, that helped me to stretch me. And the first thing that I did was I solo traveled to Quebec City, Canada. And I did that because I was used to going up to New Jersey to visit my mother on my vacations from work. But that was no longer an option. So since I didn't want to do a staycation, I decided that I was going to go to Canada because I remember going there as a child and I remember it being so quaint. And so that's what I did. I also remembered that they spoke French there. And so I wanted to speak French with the locals. So I started to relearn French using the Pimsleur method. And 6 weeks later, I was in Quebec City, Canada, speaking French to locals. Now, I was just saying a few words and phrases that I'd learned, but I was saying it with an accent that was fairly good and which fooled a couple of the Quebecois. And that encouraged me on to continue to learn the language. And by learning French, I took myself out of the shadows of my brother. So I'd been in the shadows of my parents trying to please them and not rock the boat. But when I was probably a teenager, my mother said, oh, your brother, he's really gifted with languages. And I heard that and I didn't doubt that. I believed it. But I also heard that, well, he's gifted in languages and you're not. He got the language genes and you didn't. Now, that's not what my mom said at all. That's how I heard it. That's how I processed it. So the story I told you about not applying myself as much as I could in high school, that went double for French because, well, what's the point in learning French when I'm not going to be able to do it, right? But in tackling that and learning French and now becoming fluent in French, I got way out of the shadows of my brother. Now I'm learning Spanish. So that belief is busted, right? So the second thing is to do things that stretch you, get out of your comfort zone and do things that you think you would enjoy doing that would stretch you. Now, if you have conformed for a very long time, you might not even know what it is you want to do, right? You might not even know what you like to do. And that can be a challenge. And so what I recommend doing here is to just think about something you think might be enjoyable to do and start doing that thing. So maybe you think, oh, it might be nice to learn how to paint. What you can do is maybe you can go to a paint night, something that is a low level of entry, and paint and, copy a painting, doing a paint night, and see how it feels to you. Does it feel good as the brush strokes over the canvas? Does it light you up? Or does it feel hard or something that's kind of boring to you? In that way, you can start to discern what you like, what you don't like, and do things that will help to stretch you so that you can build that confidence up. Right. So that is number 2. Number 3 is to open yourself up to opportunities, even in situations that you're not particularly happy in. So for me, I decided that I was going to become a better public speaker. And that meant that I signed up for Toastmasters International. And I remember in business school taking a public speaking class. I hated it and I didn't do very well at it. And it wasn't because I was not trying to do well. I just hated it. But I was ready to tackle this new endeavor and I wanted to get good at it. And so that's what I did. To help me to have other opportunities to speak in public, I raised my hand at work. Now, I was in a period of work where I was over it. I could do my job with my eyes closed and I was ready for something new. So I could very easily just tuned out and just went along to go along. But I raised my hand to speak at Lunch and Learns. And we had Lunch and Learn, once a month. And I did a series about coaching skills, what I was learning when I was going through coach training at the time. And that helped me to build confidence in public speaking. That helped me to build confidence in expressing myself and my own opinions. And I think that is a powerful thing to do. So showing up fully wherever you are and being able to express yourself. Number 3 has to do with writing to get to know yourself. Now, I wrote a book that is a memoir of sorts. And so I had to tap into my past and really understand and unpack what was going on for me, how I, this really shy child and young adult, was blossoming into somebody who had confidence to travel to Canada alone, travel to France alone, and even consider making a move to France. And so that helped me to understand a lot about myself and what I liked and what worked, right? So I'm not saying write a book, although, if you feel the urge, go for it. But journaling can help you to figure out who you are, what your core values are, what's most important to you. And then the final thing I did that helped me to break this habit and help me get to France and into this new life that I have was that I decided, I got so sick and tired of being in a place that just didn't feel good to me anymore. And thinking about and dreaming about being in this place that I just knew I needed to be. And I hired a coach and decided that I was going to make this move to France. Even though I didn't know how it would be possible, how to make it happen. I just knew that I needed to make the decision and start taking action, one step after the other. And that's what I did. And then a year after I started working with a coach, I was living in France. What an incredible feeling. So that's my story. I needed to break the habit of conforming. I needed to include myself in my own life. And the funny thing is that I conformed so that I could be accepted and be a part of a group and have friends. But the less I conform, the more I find my people, right? The more my people can find me. So I had a set of friends when I was conforming, when I was going along to get along. But those weren't really people who had the same values or interests as I did. And now that I am able to express myself and show up more authentically, people who are in alignment with who I am, they're able to say, oh yeah, I like what Patricia's doing. I want to go over there and talk to her. Maybe we can become friends, right? It also, in doing so, in including yourself in your own life, what that does is it allows you to shine more brightly, right? And give other people permission to do the same. Because, believe it or not, I'm not the only person who has conformed to go along to get along. I think it's something that many of us have done. So there you have it. How I broke the habit of conforming. Some things you can do if you are experiencing this. Now, if you are ready to make your move abroad, but aren't really sure how to go about it, or maybe you feel very uncertain if it's even possible for you, I'd love to have a conversation to see where you are, where it is you want to go, and how working with me might help you get there more easily. So check out the link in the description and schedule a complimentary discovery call so we can do that. And I look forward to it. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, subscribe. And if you enjoyed it, check out these videos too, because I know you're going to like those as well. That is all I have for you today. I will see you again next time. Bye for now.